Hello, future revolutionaries. Welcome to the Big Queries, where we make big ideas totally accessible and exciting. Today, we're exploring how scientific knowledge actually changes, and spoiler alert, it's not the way most textbooks tell you. We're diving into The Structure of Scientific Revolutions by Thomas Kuhn, a book that completely transformed how we understand science itself. Don't worry if that sounds super complicated. We're about to make it crystal clear why this matters to you and your future. Ready to think like a revolutionary? Let's go. Imagine you're playing a video game and you've mastered all the rules. You know exactly how everything works, until suddenly, the game releases a massive update that changes everything. The old strategies don't work anymore, and you have to learn an entirely new way to play. That's basically what Thomas Kuhn noticed happens in science. When Kuhn published his book in 1962, people thought science was just a steady collection of more and more facts. Scientists would make observations, run experiments, and gradually build up knowledge, brick by brick. But Kuhn saw something totally different. Science actually moves forward through dramatic revolutions where scientists completely change how they see the world. Let's break down Kuhn's big idea with a famous example. For over 1,000 years, everyone believed the Earth was the center of the universe, with the sun, moon, and stars all revolving around us. This wasn't just a random guess. Smart astronomers had created complex mathematical models to explain how everything moved in the sky. This entire system of beliefs was what Kuhn called a paradigm, a framework that shapes how scientists see everything. But then observers started noticing things that didn't fit this Earth-centered model. The planets sometimes appeared to move backward in the sky. Scientists tried to patch up their Earth-centered paradigm with increasingly complicated explanations. But eventually, along came Copernicus, Galileo, and others who proposed something radical. What if the sun was at the center, and Earth was just another planet? This wasn't just a small correction. It was a complete revolution in thinking, a paradigm shift. Everything had to be reimagined from scratch. And here's the wild part. Scientists living through this change weren't just calmly evaluating evidence. Many fought against the new ideas because they had spent their entire careers working within the old paradigm. So why does this matter to you now? Because we're living through multiple paradigm shifts right now. Think about artificial intelligence, which is changing how we understand creativity, work, and even what it means to be human. Or climate science, which transforms how we see our relationship with the planet. The students who will thrive in this world won't be the ones who memorize today's facts. They'll be the ones who can adapt when those facts get completely rewritten. Kuhn's insight shows us something super important. The most valuable skill isn't knowing the current answers. It's being able to question current frameworks and imagine entirely new ones. Revolutionary thinkers don't just solve problems within the existing rules. They change the rules entirely. Let me show you how this works in everyday life. Think about how we communicate. Just 20 years ago, the paradigm was calling friends on the phone or sending emails. Then came texting, which changed things a bit, but then social media and instant messaging apps created a complete paradigm shift in how humans interact. People who could only think within the old communication paradigm struggled to adapt, while those who could reimagine communication thrived. Now, with AI tools becoming part of daily life, we're experiencing another paradigm shift. The question isn't just, how do I use this new tool? But how does this completely change what's possible? This is exactly the kind of thinking Kuhn was talking about. So, what can you do to develop this revolutionary thinking superpower? Here are 5 awesome actionable items inspired by Kuhn's ideas. First, challenge yourself to look at familiar problems from completely new angles. Pick something ordinary, like your morning routine, a game you play, or even how your school operates, and ask, what if the fundamental assumptions here are wrong? What if school didn't have grade levels? What if games didn't have winners and losers? This exercise trains your brain to break free from existing paradigms. Second, research how understanding has changed over time in a subject you're learning. If you're studying biology, look up how our understanding of genetics has transformed. If it's music, explore how different cultures define what sounds good. Seeing these paradigm shifts in action helps you recognize that today's facts might be tomorrow's outdated theories. Third, practice suspending judgment when encountering ideas that contradict what you know. When you hear something that seems wrong, instead of immediately dismissing it, ask yourself, what would have to be true for this to make sense? This builds your mental flexibility, a critical skill for navigating paradigm shifts. Fourth, identify hidden assumptions in your thinking by explaining your reasoning to others. When you try to teach someone else, you often discover beliefs you didn't even realize you had. This helps you see the paradigm you're operating within, which is the first step to thinking beyond it. Fifth, create your own paradigm shift project, where you reimagine a common object or system. Take something everyone takes for granted, like backpacks, homework, or social media, and completely reinvent it based on different core assumptions. This isn't just a creativity exercise. It's training for the kind of revolutionary thinking that changes the world. The truth is, in today's rapidly changing world, being able to recognize when old mental models no longer apply and thinking flexibly about new possibilities isn't just helpful. It's essential. As AI transforms industries, as climate change reshapes our relationship with the planet, as global connectivity creates new forms of community, the people who will lead us forward won't be those who mastered yesterday's paradigms. They'll be those who can imagine and create entirely new ones. So there you have it. Thomas Kuhn showed us something incredible, that the greatest advances in human knowledge don't come from building slightly better versions of old ideas, but from completely reimagining how we see the world. And that's not just true for famous scientists. It's a superpower you can develop right now. The next time someone tells you, that's just how things are, remember, throughout history, revolutionary thinkers have changed what seemed impossible into everyday reality. Your ability to question assumptions, imagine alternatives, and adapt to paradigm shifts might just be the most valuable skill you can develop for our rapidly changing world. Thanks for joining us on The Big Queries. If you enjoyed learning about paradigm shifts and revolutionary thinking, hit that subscribe button for more mind-expanding videos. Until next time, stay curious and keep asking those big queries.